better in lit than never. It is going to be the headshot from Config onto Almazer. It's all on Z-Par into a 1 versus 1. MSL, he's going to be sitting here with the USP up against Z-Par, looking for the frag, but Z-Par comes in. It's a quad kill into the pistol, and it'll be a pickup for forZe coming through. And we'll get things going. There's a little bit of a technical problem as we moved into the start of this, but seem to have resolved all the problems, and hopefully we can move swiftly into the action. We'll get Mitch on the line as well.
Well, we're in here, ready to rumble, ready to go. The shotgun's coming out. This is interesting. So it's a signature of Inferno to see the shotgun brought out on the CT side. I think what's been most popular is the auto shotgun, but Config actually takes out a Mag 7. Meanwhile, FaceCrack tries to get lucky with a sawing off. Not quite going to happen as his head gets sawn off by a couple bullets in a straight line. Takes it out. As OpTic go up on a 5 versus 4. One-man advantage in play. The CT side early on. forZe though regrouping and making their way over towards the B bomb site, where there will be a little bit of a tussle pretty soon. Rotation coming in from MSL. He's got a CZ and he's going to be going in for the peak. And just momentarily, as the smoke dissipates, you can see him set up and counter flash. forZe not yet fully committing. They're not too sure. Started moving down banana again, bringing the bomb down, but now they're starting to come back up. With 52 seconds, they have still got time. They don't have to commit towards B, but with so little map control and no info on where the CTs are going to be at all, kind of has to be B.
Yeah, definitely is going to be a hit in towards the B bomb site. MSL sitting down towards CT as the utility coming in. Smoke from the CT cross. Z-Par will pick him up with the Mac 10. Almazer coming in with a frag himself onto refresh. Config, Nico, and Snappy will get toppled unless... Oh, well, apart from Nico, he's still alive. Still kicking and fighting, but most likely will fall shortly as they are all after him here on the forZe Esports side. He's actually slithered his way through the ruins somehow. He's going to try and get in from behind. He has got a kit as well, but Almazer is the only player there that's confirming that the defuse can't come in. Also Jerry. Actually, they will run away from the bomb site, and Nico is going to have to go for the defuse. He's going to go for the Ninja Mitch, but Almazer's sticking around. He's waiting for this. He knows it's a possibility, and Almazer will avoid the danger of the defuse. Good stuff from forZe, 2-0. Nice attempt from Nico, but, you know, it was a bit ambitious.
Well, sometimes you're going to make those plays. It's when they work out that things just look spectacular. You look like a god. Sadly, not this time. 2-0. forZe. They're looking good. They're coming into this round with a lot of SMGs, and that gives them a lot of potential. OpTic have no armor on anybody, and they're going for a push down middle. That nade's going to desecrate them, and as if it wasn't enough, Deep Power comes in with a Mac 10 backed up by Jerry. And the Mackie boys take a 3-0. That's quite a feast. As OpTic are eventually going to get themselves a full buy. MSL taking out the AWP. Just enough money on the board to allow that to happen. Sadly, though, Refresh not feeling as good. He's on the FAMAS.
As we come into round number 4, forZe here with the 3 Mac 10s, the UMP in the hands of Flit. Almazer will have himself a Galil. OpTic sitting back behind the half wall, utility being used. Flit will come in with a headshot on the Snappy. Refresh with 1. Almazer answers right back. MSL able to pick himself up, Jerry. And FaceCrack is there on to MSL. 2v3 advantage siding here with OpTic. What should I say? forZe, and very much forZe, not as Nico is the last man alive. He'll run away from that B bomb site and over towards the A site as he will hide inside the pit. He has to carry this M4A4 into the next one. Otherwise, there's literally not going to be anything for OpTic to have a fight with. So, forZe, a great start here on Inferno. And that's kind of scary for OpTic. Again, anybody who's just tuning in, they are currently 1 map down in the series.
Yeah, like the lead for OpTic. I mean, forZe. Like, the script says OpTic, but somehow, here we are. forZe are doing a great job, beating down some very experienced players right now. You know, players that have certainly resided above the spot forZe currently residing in the top 30. And they're number 29? Or am I wrong on that? But they're up there.
Yeah, they're still they're in the top 30. And have been for 3 months.
Not gonna be happy till I know what number they are. Hold on. Gotta double check. 25. Okay. 25.
Pretty good.
I'm so sorry I was wrong. I was off by 4.
Quite high in the top 30.
Yeah, indeed. And I mean, you see why. Look, they put up good, consistent numbers. They've got very consistent players as well. It's not like it's a pug squad. They have their strategies. They have their tactics. And right now, OpTic have their pants down. They got nothing. They got an M4 in play on Nico. Everybody else rocking a couple of pistols. Players without armor. Make that 1. Of course, as config gets eliminated. Some die young. It was config that died young.
Well, Flip will get himself 2 kills. Nico and Refresh are finished off with Snappy and MSL. Into the 2 versus 2 retake. No kit alive. 1 smoke on Snappy. MSL does get found by Jerry. So, Snappy, the almost impossible position of obviously not winning this. He's probably just trying to get a couple of kills at this point. Set up in the apartments. Wait for someone to come into his crosshair. One yet going that way. Snappy will just wait. Eventually, someone should come into his area, the radius where the P250 can strike. In for a kill. Perhaps try and steal away a rifle. They are playing this very safe though, forZe. They know it's a possibility, and Jerry's gonna run down the stairs. Snappy should get at least 1 here. There's Flip falling. Snappy going for the 2nd kill, but Zepar says no. He will drop him. It's 5-0. forZe with an excellent start on Inferno, but this is where OpTic can get the strong buy-in. AWP immediately purchased on MSL, and M4 and OGs on the CT side.
Yeah, although the scoreline's massively tilted in forZe's favor, like we said, this is where OpTic can really get a start to the map. With 5-0 on the scoreboard, this is where they need to start putting forZe in their place. Remember, this is OpTic's map pick. forZe getting an early lead on the T side certainly does put them, considering they're already 1-0 up in the series, in a very nice position in terms of morale. Certainly momentum, and not a team that is unfamiliar with the concept of momentum. forZe starting to steamroll into this round as well. MSL goes down. A quick headshot briskly eliminates that CT, but config is there to get a trade, trying to escape as the battle ensues. Nico does a little bit more damage. Nades going through. forZe are beaten back, but luckily the bomb is safe. It won't be taken away from them just yet, so they get to refocus. They don't have to commit to the A-bomb site. Instead, slowly start to pull themselves towards B. You can see them shifting up banana right now. Only the 1 player to defend. That's Refresh. He has got an AUG. Alongside him, Snappy, starting to make the rotation and coming in through the CT spawn. But forZe still have utility. Lots of smokes in play, and they've got 3 in their hands. It's going to be a full execute. But it doesn't matter. Refresh him with 2.
Fresh with the double kill, leaves Flit and Zepar on their own in a 2 versus 4. Snappy's got himself a kill, and it's all on Zepar. Op versus 4. He will get 1 on the Molotov. 3 this time. They know exactly where he is, and that is the biggest problem at this point. And probably a bigger problem than that is that Zepar doesn't know where they are. So I'll start to make his way back towards T-Stars and just try and hang on to this AWP. Player crossed over, so Zepar now knows that there is 1 player over towards the A side of things. So try and get a pick or 2 here on the exit, but main goal here is to carry that AWP into the next one. There isn't too many money problems, but you've got no chance of winning it. You might as well just hang on to whatever you've got.
Yeah, sure. Look, if Zepar dies there, he has to reinvest into this round. Obviously, he does drop an over weapons, but he would end up with way, you know, he had far more money on him in terms of utility, hardware, armor, than he would lose out on by just going in and dying to get a little bit of extra money. Because he would have only got like 1,600 because he was on 14k anyways. He would have hit the cap of 16. The right decision to save in every situation, every possibility of that situation there for Zepar. Able to get full AKs out, utility. You know, 4 has been uncontested 5 rounds in a row. Puts them in certainly on a high horse. Gonna be hard to beat down their buys, but at least it's a CT side for OpTic, where it will be slightly easier to do. AWP on MSL once more. looking to get a little bit more impact as we move in to round number 7. Already a little bit of a problem here for forZe. They're trapped in banana. The Molotovs are down, but Jerry's still walking away with 2. MSL eventually finds 1, but he's trapped out in the open, hunted down, finds a second. He has time to get back. config rotating in to help him out as well. So into a 3v3, OpTic somehow managed to recover that scenario, although even still, forZe are looking favored.
Yeah, it's a close affair here, though. OpTic have got players coming over from B, over towards Archway. That's config arriving to the party. So NiKo sitting back inside the pit, which is a position you can definitely defend the A bomb site from very well. You can dip in for a kill and dip back out to safety. So that's where things start to become a bit more leaning on the mind games. As again, config unaware that it's going to be the A site. Or actually rotate back over towards B. So pressure will start to lie on the shoulders of NiKo as he'll hold the pit looking for that early kill towards the apartments. Currently Zpar is up there. So if he is to walk into the open, that's when NiKo can strike him and take that kill. But with 35 seconds left, the utility being used, definitely showing they want to go towards the A side of the map. So the rotation can start to come in. Molotov towards NiKo. The smoke will get rid of that. But he needs a kill. He needs to hold on and just delay. There's the frag on the Zpar. Excellently played. Playing with a bicycle over the top of the smoke. Eventually will fall. Unable to get 2 kills, but that doesn't matter at this point as his teammates have rotated into the site. Config just behind the smoke. Almazer planting the bomb inside of his smoke. And cross over to the site. Config spots him. It bits the shot from Flit. He will go into the open, and MSL is lagging out.
Yep. MSL's timed out.
Well, that is very disappointing, because I actually thought OpTic probably could have won that. Well, MSL, high-tier Counter-Strike, ladies and gentlemen. This is exactly what we all come to see. He hasn't even got a gun in his hands. It is invisible to the naked eye. You can see the eye.
Really? For me, he's scoped in, just crab walking.
Yeah, but I'm a third person observing his other body. And this
I can see the Dragon Lord.
He's coming across the line.
Oh, he's not even walking.
Can he go across the finish line? Oh, can he make it across the finish line, ladies and gentlemen? No.
Oh.
Goal line technology is needed. Obviously, we've got to wait for MSL. I think the technical pause is pretty evident as to why it's been called through.
No, I think it might be a ping issue with Flit. No, quite clearly MSL. Yeah, he's out of here. He'll be back. Hopefully at some point. Probably just a quick timeout. It happens. De temps en temps. Not much you can do about it. ISPs can be fun sometimes.
Yeah. Well, that kind of signals they aren't playing together. So, means that MSL got some problems. Have to try and fix. That's the problem of online games, though, Mitch, isn't it?
Indeed it is. I mean, hell, it's a problem with offline games as well, right? PC issues, drivers, Microsoft Word from time to time. You always get some sort of a... Like, we operate on technology. It happens. I guess, like, the equivalent in football would be if there was, like, a hurricane. They were just super frequent.
when the pitch just... It's like Bane in Batman. The Dark Knight Rises. It's like when the whole football pitch, like the American football pitch just falls in on itself. It just implodes, you know? It's gone.
Yeah.
That was a really cool scene in that movie.
That was pretty nuts. I was still not a fan of his voice, though. I thought...
No.
Weirdly done.
No, definitely not. He definitely played the part well. I think it was just his voice was a bit questionable.
Yeah.
But MSL has returned, ladies and gentlemen, and still has the rogue picture on. He is a rogue, of course. Rogue player going off on the lag. I definitely feel bad for OpTic though, because that was a round they were going to win, in my opinion. Config did his best, but it was basically a 1v2 clutch.
It wouldn't even have been the 1v1 in the end, right? Because MSL would have rotated in on time to actually help and make sure that they actually... sorry, instead of it just being a 1v1 where he was just straight up taking an aim duel and trying to win it, he would have made sure when his teammate fell, he was there to find the kill straight away and not necessarily put too much of a risk on the round, really. I think situation was favoring OpTic with how it played out. One extra player in the mix, forZe would have been in trouble, but it's not how life works. And so, you know, everybody's, once damage is done in a round, you can't restart it. Sadly, timed out afterwards, so forZe do come away with a 6-1 lead. And this is scary for OpTic now. They do manage to get themselves a full buy, but they're on the last legs. If they can't find this one, forZe almost assuredly go up to 8-1 in the lead, and that is a huge advantage so early on for a T-sided team on Inferno.
Well, initial banana duels coming through. Currently, OpTic having 3 players positioned towards B at the beginning of the game. Round utility being used up. That's generally what we like to see on Inferno, is those banana battles early into the rounds, but that's a good kill from Refresh. Jerry will spot one more close, gets baited into the open, and that's where MSL can really frag on the AWP. Miz are finished off, now Fistcrack and Zpar having to get it done in a 2 versus 3. Zpar hiding in behind the logs, the wood with the AWP. At this point it's starting to get pretty scary. Config taking a fight towards middle, taking damage on board. Fistcrack has gone back up towards Boiler. Take a fight towards the pit. He wants a frag, he wants a fight. It's just not going to come to him. Well, they eventually do, but he just can't win it. So it's all on Zpar into a 1v3. He is definitely a player that can do this. He needs to get the kills quickly. MSL, that's the first kill coming through. Config nearly drops him through the smoke, but now Zpar can get the bomb planted. He can turn this into a series of 1v1 fights. He can definitely edge this through. MSL couldn't quite hold. So Zpar now has a chance. The bomb planted for him as he goes back towards Banana. They might not expect him to be on the right side. Spots the player on the defuse, take the shot. There we go. Nico finished off, but Config straight away with the trade. It will be finally OpTic posting 1 on the board. And you've got to think about it, Mitch. They probably could have found that last one as well. So they'll end up being 6-2, but could very easily be a little bit more.
Only a slight bit, though. 6-2 nonetheless. OpTic now. Again, they're struggling a little bit for economy. We're going to see a lot of SMGs and weaker weapons come out. forZe, after winning so many rounds, they're not too worried about that. They've got at least one more full buy even after this. Interesting point of trivia. At the moment, I said forZe was rated number 25 on HLTV. Rated number 26 is OpTic. So a win here could push OpTic over the line. Be fighting for that 25th spot.
I don't know if this game would be enough to do that, but...
Now, they're 3 points away as well, but... certainly in our minds and hearts.
Yeah, I think there always is. I think they'll eventually see a rise with this team. I think it's definitely a better version of OpTic. So I don't think they're going to be very happy with 26th in the world. I think like an organization as big as OpTic and has a fan base as big as OpTic does, they want to have a team that's challenging for top 10, even top 5. So they want a team that will definitely be up there. And I don't know if this is that roster. I think, like I said earlier, it'll probably see changes. It's probably not done. But OpTic, definitely, it's an improvement from the last edition, I feel. Obviously, they did go to a bit of a mixture between the heroic team and the pieces of the puzzle they had in OpTic gaming when there was that sort of weird dynamic between Danish and Americans. They had, obviously, Shazam and Stanislaw. And they had very different ideologies of how the team should be run, but things are starting to look a little bit better here for OpTic.
An early poke from forZe towards middle, almost always successful. Fistcrack comes in on the config. As OpTic lose control of long, there's going to be a straight push towards the A-bomb site, but watch out for the push coming up behind. OpTic coming down Banana, spotted out. Down goes one, and down goes a second. Snappy and MSL don't find anything on the flank. The bomb's still going to go down the A-bomb site because there's nobody there, even despite the B players being completely cleared out. So too were the A, leaving only Refresh with an AUG in hand, and this is not an ideal situation for the CT side. forZe, with already a staggering amount of money, might not even lose a single player in this round. Refresh is going to try to remedy that with the AUG, but misses the first couple of shots. Amazar walks away with the kill. There you go, all 5 alive at the end of the round, 7-2. forZe have got a huge lead on the T side of Inferno. It is generally their better side, but nonetheless, they've got a huge economic advantage, and in this round, a huge hardware advantage.
Yeah, again, like we always kind of talk about it, loss bonus wasn't at its maximum, but it was definitely getting there, so obviously can't exactly be as hardly reset as you used to be before the loss bonus changes to that economy. That is a good kill from ZPAR, opening things up onto config. The rest of OpTic still have their deagles. It is a deco, and so they still have a chance here at perhaps edging a couple of kills through, but the main focus will obviously be in round 11. That's when OpTic can get a very solid buy-in again, where another challenge will arise for forZe. But like you said there, this is definitely an excellent start on the T side of Inferno from the Russian side, although Nico is going to get himself a kill and the pressure building towards the A bomb site. Lit looks to try and trade. He does get Nico, but MSL is waiting for that trade himself, and MSL goes for the AK, but he's found by ZPAR. And other rotations having to come in from Snappy and Refresh. Snappy close by. He's towards Archway. And Refresh slowly but surely making his way down towards Banana. Although Jerry has taken a bit of a fight against Snappy. They now know where he is. The point for Snappy here is to try and stay alive and delay long enough for Refresh to try and get in position from middle. But both plants are looking good from the T side. It's going to be relatively impossible for OpTic to find too much into this.
With just the deagle, I mean, what are you hoping for? A kill and a saved over weapon, perhaps, but it's not possible. As Refresh lies on the floor. The server's refreshed, so all players are back alive, but forZe are 8-2 ahead. Again, so many players surviving, minimal reinvestment caused with only 2 players rebuying. There's a lot of money on that forZe side. OpTic have one chance here to slow them down before it will be way too late. I mean, already they need the next 5 rounds in a row to close this out 8-7 and make sure it's not a travesty. If they lose this one, things get very grim very fast. Towards the bottom and middle, little points of damage being done to Z Power, but with an AWP, he won't be too worried about it. Oh, the nade towards Banana from Refresh might just be perfectly timed. No. A little bit too early.
Well, forZe kind of starting to back away from middle and go over towards B. Currently, obviously they have one player all the way up towards the top of Banana, and that is Jerry. So he's going to give so much information that they have a lot of control here. And FaceCrack's going to find a kill on A. Hasn't forced the rotation from OpTic towards B just yet, though. Refresh is going to go for an information play, and he might get dropped here. Starting to make his way in. Grip flashbang. Only gets 1 kill, but he does his job. He's got the info. And now Snappy, alone, holding the site, gets the first kill. Nearly the second, but Amazer comes in clutch. And now it's got to be Nico and Config making their way back in towards the B bomb site. Config has the op. Smoke over the cross, and Config is looking for these kills. But again, I think it's safe time for OpTic. They have to run away. Losing B too easily there, I'm afraid. They had 2 players sitting on the bomb site. They do end up getting 2 kills, but it's not really enough. They didn't stay alive long enough for rotations to come in. And that leaves OpTic in a scary position.
So this is pretty typical of what we see from forZe. They go for that mid control towards the start of the round. They're poking and prodding, seeing if they could find anything. They didn't, so they decided to go for a full rotation to B, with the exception of FaceCrack. Sticks around a little bit, finds a kill. He tends to be the player that entries towards the A bomb side or just lurks if they need to go in for the rotation. He finds a kill, keeps the A players there just a little bit longer. You know, at that point, although, like you said, he didn't drag a rotation, but he did certainly cause the aggression. And although Refresh had a very nice flashbang, Jerry wasn't quite caught by it. So able to claim the kill up close. And with that, the round just fell apart for OpTic. No way back in, and 9-2 down. This is their way back in again. They've got the bonus. It seems like we're just constantly saying this. They need to win every round from now on.
This is kind of scary because we did say on Mirage. Okay, maybe OpTic are just not going to be very good at Mirage here. We'll see what they can do at Inferno. We get here and it's actually looking worse. It's ZPAR and Amazer finding kills between them. It's Nico and Config again. It feels like deja vu for these guys. Everyone's dead on B. We've got to save or go for this. And Config seems to want to go for some action. He's a bit bored. Hasn't really had to do too much. He wants to find Flit, but he will be found. It's all on Nico. He's dropped as well. Oh, this is just incredible from forZe. Double figures reached, and OpTic are being picked apart.
They gotta be Config and Nico thinking, did we join a retake server? What's going on?
Yeah, it's definitely been them looking at the save or the retake attempt every time, and it's never really been a realistic retake attempt either, you know. Like, why would they want to go for that? It's a 2v4 or a 2v5. Impossible.
Yeah, and it's not like they've got a load of money. You know, if that was the second last round and they all had 6k, well, hell, just go for it. Why not? But that's certainly not the case. Look at the amount of SMGs coming out. They've only got one M4, one FAMAS, everything else on UMP. They've got their Molotovs at least. They can be very useful in Inferno alongside smokes to just really run that clock down. But so far, that just hasn't been a feature of OpTic. Or even if the clock has run down, it's been more because forZe choose to play the round that way. They have so much freedom, so much space to work with. It doesn't feel like at any point they kind of have to do something. Even when they push A, they don't have to commit to it. The players push down Banana and they find those kills. They had the option to rotate to B a couple of rounds ago when they did that, but they cleared out A nonetheless because just winning out the aim duels. And this is a lot less than what I was expecting to see shown from OpTic. Again, forZe pressure towards top mid. This time it looks like they'll be committing. They've already taken a bit of control. They've left Banana completely. Just the one lurker there. I believe it's going to be Jerry, now holding the back as usual. And the push comes towards long. MSL goes down low. UMP at least manages to find one, but his teammate is going to struggle to stay alive. Snappy just about makes it out, but look towards Pit. This is looking bad as Flit finds one. The 1-for-1 trade still look good for the T side.
Well, yeah, they're stuck in Archway, though, so they're going to have to decide where they want to go. It seems like they do want to go towards the B bomb site, or actually wrapping through Library now. They haven't really got too much time to wasting here. 25 seconds. I think at this point they're kind of forced to go in towards A. And Config, he's going to be waiting for this. Down inside of the pit, he's got a good position to deal with these two players coming in as well. He can play the headshot angle, wait for them to come into his crosshair. This is come on over. 10 seconds on that clock. Config finds the first, but Zpower has to stick it. Config knows, throws the Molotov, and this looks good for Config. Well played from him. He will get OpTic a third round on the board, and that is very well played from him indeed. Just sitting in the pit, waiting for them to come towards him, and he can collect him with ice in his veins.
And this is it. The one thing that we've said from the start, or from the last couple rounds onwards, is that the B side certainly seems like a bit of a weakness. It's consistently falling whenever the push comes towards it. This time forZe decide to commit towards A. It doesn't quite work out for them. They claim the CT control a little bit earlier on, with 28, 29 seconds left on the clock. And I think the decision to go towards A was probably the right one. There's a lot more spots where you can safely get the bomb plant. Even if you do find the opening kill, you know, if you're towards B and the second guy is there, you don't know where he is, and there's so many open angles that if he happens to hide correctly, he can drop the bomb, run the time down, and win the round that way. So I much prefer to see them go to A, where there's a lot of boxes you can hide behind, and limit yourself to just being exposed to one angle while you get the bomb plant down. Your teammate covers it, and you're sorted. You're guaranteed to not lose to time.
Oh, well.
OpTic. Oh.
That is a great start from Zpower. Straight away on the MSL, dropping him. And that has been a problem for them. He's been a thorn in their side for quite some time now. You know, Zpower kind of talked about it yesterday. He wasn't actually having the greatest performances on the T side. But recently here against OpTic, he's been on a form on the T side as well. But Snappy holding towards B, gets 3 headshots, lines them all up. And it's Flit and Zpower having to pull this one back.
Well, forZe work well from behind, that's for sure. But OpTic finally getting themselves on this scoreboard in a convincing manner. A man advantage for them late on. 2 players stacked towards the A bomb site, which is the correct place to be playing. Config should soon find out if he sticks around. But he's starting to get a little bit angsty. Cautious of the long push and the flank around towards B, catching his teammate over there. Snappy off guard. But as Nico takes the opening fight, the rotation begins for Config. He's going to try to help him out. Nico popping a flash up high in just a moment. Config goes down to the op though, and Nico inside the smoke eliminated. And with that, almost all hope for the round is lost. Snappy has to win a 1v2. They don't have a whole lot of money to save here. Could be good, but the thing is they can't afford to lose more rounds. I think this is one of the better odds they're going to have. It's probably worth going for. Yeah,
it's got to be Snappy getting the ace here into the clutch. The bomb is taken away. He has got a kit, but no utility. And so many different angles to check here. He's got to really rely on just hitting the headshots. He's going to start to move in. Looking for the fight on Zpower. And what a quick reaction indeed. 3 kills from Zpower into the round. And I think he is definitely the MVP of that one for forZe. They end up winning themselves 11. And we go into the last round of the half. And this could end up being a very scary scoreline for the Danes. 12-3 is possible. But obviously the best case scenario here for OpTic is they get 4. And that's definitely a comeback. You know, you can just come back from that scoreline. It's not done, but it's not good. And it's kind of in between. You know, it's a scoreline you can come back from. It's much better than 12-3, but it's still not a good scoreline at all, especially on the CT side of Inferno.
I think 11-4 down. It's a pretty terrible scoreline for any CT side on any map. Hey, maybe Vertigo, who knows?
We've got to paint Vertigo might be a different story. We've got to paint a pretty picture somehow for OpTic. You know, currently it's just one of those crappy drawings your child brings home and you put on the fridge, and we've got to turn it into a better painting. You know,
that's a little bit harsh. Well, I mean, considering the scoreline, it's not. But Lord, all right, yeah, I guess one of those things that you want to tell your kid, "Oh, it's beautiful, man," but you also want to throw it in the trash.
That's exactly it. I bet your
Two
parents
men
have done that a
behind
couple
as well.
of times, Mitch.
Every time. I'm not a very artistic person. And this is not a very good looking round for OpTic. Towards the A bomb site, MSL and Nico gotta hold it down. A UMP and a FAMAS. And the round rests on their shoulders. 12-3. Not where OpTic want to be coming into half number 2.
No, definitely not, and this is going to be the final approach from them. 25 seconds, they've got to make a play. Looks to be over towards the A bomb site. OpTic holding here with 2 players, a third rotating in from Banana. This could really work for them if they can find these kills. Again, there's limited time. So here go forZe running into the site. MSL's here. They have the assistance of Nico for the pin. MSL denies the bomb. That's the big kill. MSL's done enough. No time here for forZe to get that bomb. And then it comes down to time. MSL gets another. And Snappy had obviously picked up 2 on the other end of the map. So good stuff there from OpTic towards the end of the half. MSL does enough by holding the site. They do get 4 in the end. It's okay. I mean, you've got to have something. It's not a great half at all, but it's better than 12-3. You got to be an optimist.
There are a lot of win conditions right now for OpTic. They got to win the pistol. They got to win the first buy round.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah. You see, the thing is, right? We could say before, hey, well, if they win the pistol, they win the buy round, that's 4 rounds on the board, they lose 1, then they reset their opponent, they win another 2.
All right, Mitch, we're going through a lot of scenarios here.
No, it's not the case anymore, right? You can't reset your opponent in round 5 or 6 after winning the first buy round. Not the thing anymore. So, like, clocking up that many rounds, the thing is, the new economy system obviously favors the team that's behind in a half. And so even when OpTic start to build up rounds, it's still that opening is there all the time for forZe to get the full buyout. And all they need is like 1 nutty round for Z Power with the AWP. 1 round where FaceCrack decides he's going to take down 3 people. And things start to fall apart for them. Certainly a struggle to find positives for OpTic.
I seen someone in chat earlier saying that we were rude casters for saying that about children's drawings, and I can't help but feeling that that person is one of those people that brought those paintings home for their parents.
And got them thrown in the bin.
Yes, they didn't get it on the fridge.
They
did not get it on the fridge.
Yeah, my parents bought a wooden fridge just so they could say, "Oh,
there's no magnets work." Sorry. You come home with drawing pins.
You can only put it in the bin. There's nowhere else. We'd love to put it up, but
not enough space in the house.
Yeah,
well, let's get into the pistol. It is going to be a plenty of utility on config and MSL. They charge in towards B. It's Flit immediately finding the first kill. Flit coming in with a second as well. Now the push from OpTic is looking much weaker. They only have 3 players in a flank from Banana coming on in. It is going to be FaceCrack trying to get it done. Z-Paw's there also, but it is going to be the push from OpTic trying to get it done on the A site, or the B site, should I say. But Almazer and Flit finding the kills. It's config on his own. 1v3, flashbang goes over the top, and it's done. What a hold from forZe. They are looking very confident indeed. Just straight, hold B, run down middle, job done.
Job done indeed. With the pistol round under the belt, OpTic, well, forZe with the pistol round under the belt, OpTic have got to really think about what they want to do in this round. Do they want to force buy? I mean, a force buy here could throw the game away if they lose it. And they don't. They want to put their faith in a huge comeback that starts with a rifle buy in the next round. For now, They're facing off against what could be a devastating economic decision. Because forZe have taken an auto shotgun, as you see there on face crack, taken out the config, and an MP9 with the ability to find those early kills and that extra money, alongside Z-Power taking a P250 early on to allow him to get an AWP later on. It's scary, man. forZe have got a lot of money to work with, and everything they could possibly want. The one advantage of what OpTic did was that they can get a buy round here, and generally it means they're going to be looking a lot better than forZe. But because of the decisions that forZe made, they managed their money right. They're coming into this with like the tiniest of disadvantages being to the fact that they've got an auto shotgun on face crack, which in the B apartments, or the A apartments rather, doesn't even matter. You know, that can be used. I mean, you look at David P. He only uses the goddamn auto shotgun on this map. Like,
well, pots and pans for forZe. And that's a good start from Z-Par coming in early towards middles. Refresh is going to be dropped. And the rest of OpTic want to go back up towards Banana. Currently sitting here on the other end of the wall is Jerry. We see him have some unbelievable rounds with the MP9. Molotov's going to force them away. I think we're just going to have to sit here pretty, waiting for their moment to strike. There's a bit of a gap in that smoke, so actually OpTic could end up looking through it and get a lot of information that they are not around the other end of the wall. He will peek through, and once he gets that info, they can start to come on over. But the problem is, forZe are rotating a third player over towards B, and they've just put Z-Par in a position where he could rotate fast towards the B bomb site. So OpTic have got to be successful and find these engagements very, very quickly.
and starting it out, nade going in could certainly do a lot of damage. Molotov to slow them, 40 seconds on the clock. OpTic don't have a lot of time to work with. Flash goes over, Molly's still in play. MSL jumps right into it. He's going to be torn apart by Jerry directly after him. Low HP, Jerry just keeps on going. The gun that keeps giving the MP9 gives him a lot of money as Flit takes a quick two-piece. It seems like, I mean, they heard the Molotov go down and yet still proceeded to flash through the smoke and attack the B bomb site. All they had to do was wait another 3 seconds, and MSL would have been much higher on HP when he took the fight against Jerry. And that MP9 might not have been able to wipe the floor with them as easily.
Yeah, it's not looking good for OpTic, but they all piece together a buy. And we have to call it that. There's the UMPs across the board. Config with the Deagle will be a peek towards mid from Z-Par with his AWP looking right down the barrel, charging in towards the B-bomb side of the rest of OpTic. 5 players going there quickly. This time Jerry does not have an MP9, but an AUG, and he's got himself 3 kills with it, all on Snappy. It's about to be map point here for forZe Esports. Snappy is looking to try and recover the bomb. It's just impossible at this point. We've seen some good plays from Snappy on the SMGs, but we've got to have an amazing one here. He's going to go around the corner. Amazer will pick him up. It's 15-4. This could be an unbelievable storyline for forZe. You know, moving forward, they could be in a position to try and get themselves towards the spot at IEM Sydney.
That would just be spectacular. I mean, for them to actually make it there would mean so much. They've held on the top 30 for 3 months and not really been able to make it to any big tournaments. I'd love to see what they can do against the top level teams.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see more be OpTic make a comeback. 11 straight rounds. They've got a full buy here. It's a possibility. But they've got to massively change how they've been playing for this to work.
The one good tournament they actually got to attend as well with some of the better teams in the world attending was with PLG Grand Slam, and obviously, unluckily for them, a lot of those games did not get broadcasted, so their time to really shine, and
happened in the dark.
Yeah, happened in the dark indeed. And also, even their game that they played well against Fnatic, Blast Pro Series Grand Final was on, so barely anybody watched it. So unfortunate for them. This would mean a lot for the exposure of the team as well. Get some eyes on them. Flit is going to find Config as they start to make up towards middle. It's going to be a kill from FaceCrack coming through, looking to hold on to the bomb site as well. Fresh and MSL, they've got a 2v4 coming through. Refresh will hit the headshot, looks for the second, but FaceCrack comes in. All on MSL. 1v3, AWP picked up. We'll look for these 3 players to try and save his team. His newfound team. This is, well, he hits the shot, but it's not quite the kill. The wall protects his crack from death. MSL will cross, put the bomb on the site. And now the rest of forZe having to come back in for a 3v1 retake. It's going to happen. Surely this does not happen for MSL. He does fall. 16-4 will be the final scoreline. And OpTic, again, you've got to give them the caveat. Brand new team, brand new in-game leader. The system has literally no time to be put in place, but can't take it away from forZe. They played very well across the series, ending it in a 2-0 fashion.
For sure, I think the thing overall for them there, the first map, you got Mirage, a little bit more puggy. We saw them actually do a pretty decent job. Move over to Inferno, where you need a little bit more of kind of team play, a little bit more tactics behind the team. They're not able to do it. I think that it's kind of as expected, if not a little bit less, a little bit underwhelming. But give OpTic time to get used to this roster, or indeed whatever further changes they make. They certainly have a lot of promise there on an individual level. It just doesn't come together right now and gel as a team just yet.
No, definitely not. I think we, like you said, I think time is the big thing here. You have to give OpTic. They haven't looked too strong in their first showing, but that's to be expected. Obviously, I heard like MSL and Nico had only arrived back in Denmark like last night or something. They wouldn't have had time to practice. They wouldn't have had time to sort of set even a system in place. They're probably still relying on a little bit on the puggy, scrimmy style of play, or perhaps a system that somewhat worked with the players that Snappy had implemented. And at this point, again, like I feel this isn't the final version of OpTic. I think we're going to see even more changes to the team in the future. But that is it for this series. We've got another one coming up after the break, though. It's Heroic taking on X3D Max. So make sure you guys stick around for that other semi-final. I'm actually really looking forward to that one. It's going to be a bit more of a question mark. I'll probably throw the favour towards Heroic in that matchup. But we'll see if it can be a good day for the Danes after all.
CSBET.GG guarantees to show the actual drop rate with precision to the hundreds. Find the best skins only in cases at CSBET.GG.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.